So I start heading there, and first car I met was a cop car coming the opposite way. Hey there, and welcome to Matt's Garage and Car Stories with Matt. So today's car story is it's kind of borderline if it's a car story, but it's closely related. Um, it's before I had a driver's license. Where I grew up in rural Saskatchewan, it was very normal, acceptable, and legal for anybody to drive a tractor on the road. And so what I did as a youngster is I went to a farm auction and I bought myself a little lawn tractor, which it's still qualified. Tractor is a tractor. And so I could then legally drive around town on this, and it didn't go really much faster than walking speed, but still, walking is for peasants, right? So I started cutting grass with this thing when I was like 12 years old. I had actually started cutting grass prior to this with just a little push mower that I found at our local garbage dump, and my dad helped me renovate it and get it running again, and I used that. I started when I was 11 cutting lawns with that, and kind of finished out that summer with that mower and got a few customers. And the next spring I went to this farm auction with my granddad actually, and he lent me $235 to buy this really old MTD lawn tractor. It was from like the 70s, and even when they started it at the auction, it was puking out blue smoke and everything, but I mean, it ran, and $235 was incredibly cheap. And so we actually borrowed a pickup truck off of somebody we knew and hauled that home because we had driven there in my granddad's van and everything. And I renovated that all up and spray painted it all and everything, made it look as good as I could, and I cut grass with it all summer. But boy, did it burnt oil like nothing I've ever seen before. But it kind of got to the point where I could predict how much oil it was going to burn. And so I'd keep a liter of oil under the seat, and I'd just stop halfway through a lawn, pop the hood, and dump half a liter of oil in it. And then when I was done the lawn, I would dump the rest of the half liter in. And it only held like a liter, so it would literally drain the crankcase every lawn. And it burnt very little gas, though. This thing pretty well ran on oil. And if there wasn't a good crosswind, it was actually hard to see where you were going. The oil smoke was that thick. But still, it got me through the summer and allowed me to gain a bunch more new customers. And then actually, I bought myself a brand new Craftsman 12.5 horsepower lawn tractor on my mom's Sears card. And I made the monthly payments every month on it. It was like $110 a month for 12 months or whatever. And so that kind of brought me into the big time. Then I started to get people that were calling in that had, overgrown lots and stuff, and they knew my lawn tractor could handle that. So that was pretty cool. And then I built a little trailer to go behind that so that I could pack my push mower and my trimmer and all that kind of stuff. And then I was able to haul away grass clippings for people too. And so I would load this trailer up with grass clippings and haul it to the dump or whatever, and just charge them an extra $5 or whatever because I hauled away the grass clippings. And I didn't mind. I liked to just drive around town because I couldn't drive a car yet, so that was kind of like my car. And I'd drive it to the local coffee shop for lunch and everything like that. And then I had my dog would come along with me too. I had a chain off the back corner of the trailer, and my dog would kind of walk along behind the trailer everywhere I went. So it was probably a funny sight, this big honking trailer behind this lawn tractor, and then this dog waltzing along behind it. And I kind of I worked for a lot of older people around town and kept their their grass cut, but often they asked me to do other odd jobs, and so I had this one customer one time that asked me to trim a bunch of trees around his yard, and there was one whole tree that had like been damaged in a windstorm that I removed for him. This was a pretty sizable tree, so I remember all the limbs and stuff I stacked in the trailer and tied them all on, and it was like just overflowing with limbs, you know, and they were like twice as wide as the trailer. And then I had this one big tree, so I chained it up behind the trailer, still had the dog walking back there, and I had this big tree dragging back there, and it was as wide as the road. So it's a couple miles away to the local dump. So I start heading there, and first car I met was a cop car coming the opposite way. And so it's kind of funny. I'm this like 13-year-old kid on this lawn tractor, and I was kind of freaking out because I'm taking up the whole road, and I thought maybe the cop would have something to say, but no, he just pulled off into the ditch for me and let me go by. Just wave as I went by. So from the time I was about 12 to the time I was 16, this was literally my transportation, and that was my summer job, was cutting grass and doing odd jobs for people around town. And one thing I did, I've always been into like doing auto body work and stuff, so every year at the end of the year my lawn tractor would kind of be all scraped up because, you know, I'd be running under trees with it and stuff, and the hood would get all scratched, and I wanted it to look like new again. So over the winter I'd always strip it all down and spray paint it up in a new color. So I remember one year I had it in a nice raspberry red, like a burgundy color, and then another year I had it in a bright blue, and I did the center of the hood in flat black and everything, and always had it painted up like that. And a few people around town actually thought that I bought a new mower every year, but no, I repainted it. I do hope you enjoyed this car story. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.